Result suggests, I think, the clear lesson for the Congress is not that Rahul Gandhi is not a charismatic leader in UP. The real lesson for the Congress is that unless you have strong state leaders and a strong organizational network, it's too much to ask for Rahul Gandhi to convert the crowds that come to see him into actual seats. So what the Congress has failed to do over the years is that you have over-relied on Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family to see you through in UP, and you have completely neglected and ignored the state leadership and an organization.
But the same problem applies to the BJP. Well, they haven't quite built up any...
Arnab, I was going to just tell you that we are all commiserating with Congress party, but look at what Mr. Nitin Gadkari has done to the BJP. Yeah, so I mean, they had to import Uma Bharti from Madhya Pradesh, and she was being talked about a chief ministerial candidate in UP. So what he got that Mr. Sanjay Joshi, who annoyed Narendra Modi so much, he didn't campaign, and he has proved to be a disaster. True. So where is the state leadership in the BJP?
So in that sense, both the national parties, both the national parties have been below par in trying to identify local leaders of merit. Why is that such a problem? Here's the question. Ravi Shankar Prasad, my last question to you tonight. Would you tonight on Times Now acknowledge that this has not just been a weakness but poor strategic planning of your party? You know, that you could not project one leader
I get your point.
as your face in Uttar Pradesh.
I get your point, Arnav. In 91, when we got a clear majority, Kalyan Singh was not projected. We keep on doing it. Mr. Nitin Gadkari has clarified very clearly that Shri Rajnath Singh, Shri Kalraj Mishra, Uma Bharti ji and Surya Pratap Shahi, State President, will collectively lead the campaign, and they have done it very good work. I have never said that we were projected as the underdog. Even if one thing wants honest confession, the kind of gusto with which we ought to have gone from the first page itself, which we went subsequently, after all the kind of support which we are getting today, and we are going to do much, much better, is clearly an indication there is a big space for BJP in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And who knows, we will recover our ground. Yes, today, I am very honestly confessing, Arnav, that by aligning with Mayawati, we lost a lot of our own sheen, which had this impact. We used to win nearly 60 Lok Sabha seats. We used to win 200 plus Vidhan Sabha seats. But this kind of firm declaration by Nitin Gadkari ji, by Advani ji, Sushma ji, Arun ji and all of us, that we will have no alliance whatsoever with Samajwadi Party and Mayawati. We will prefer to sit in the opposition. Assure the people of the state. And I am sure the people will repose their trust. And yes, we have also a long-term planning. We wish good luck to all the players in Uttar Pradesh. But when it will come to 2014, I am very clear the people of the state will trust us.
I'm thanking you, Mr. Prasad. At that point, thank you very much for joining us. And I look forward to having you again.
One short point.
Sir.
Today I am wearing this jacket given by our sisters, Adi sisters of Arunachal, who came with Tapir Gao. Just to say, Arunachal is India. And the channel anchored by the proud son of Northeast, Arnav Goswami, was the channel to highlight that. Thank you.
I didn't get the last part.
The proud son of the Northeast.
Well, thank you very much. I'm indeed a very proud son of the Northeast and a proud son of Assam and a proud son of India. Thank you very, very much. And our election results will also keep a great focus on what's happening in Manipur. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, thank you very much. Now let's open up the debate, because I want to make sure that Shahid Siddiqui, I want to make sure that this I'll give our viewers across India a sense about whether this political marriage is going to happen. Now, you know what happens in a marriage is that very often till people get married, right till the very end, you know, they need the support of their families, they need the support of their elders. Maybe till the last part, you know, they give the impression they're not going to get married, and then it's one big surprise. Is that what's happening between you and the Samajwadi?
No.
What's happening? Are you at war? No.
As you know, the families are not talking to each other as far as support. They are saying, all their leaders are saying we're not going to take their support, and we also saying we're not giving support to anyone. So that marriage is not possible.
No, it's not possible. No, one second. I'm going to follow up with you on that. Are you saying that if that marriage happens, it will be deceit upon the people of Uttar Pradesh?
No, that marriage is not happening.
Why won't it happen?
Because as we have said it during the election campaign, we said that marriage is not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
No, so after elections, many things change, right?
Well, I stick to the point that we are not going to have alliance with any. If we do not get a full majority, alliance does not get a full majority.
Do our panelists think? Our panelists, do you think that Shahid Siddiqui, that marriage won't happen? Shahid Siddiqui, that marriage won't happen, says the Congress party. You've been rejected. Your proposal has been rejected.
For us, it's not entertainment. For us, it's not the future of the family. Yuvraj, for us, it's not a marriage. For us, it's the future of Uttar Pradesh. And we are very confident that we will not require their support, and they have said it very clearly that they would like to abort in the democracy. They would like to use the governor as a rubber stamp. They would like to have rule Uttar Pradesh by the back door, where they have failed at those things. They would like to rule Uttar Pradesh from the back door. So if they want to do it, if they want to abort democracy in this country, they will have to pay the price. They have paid the price earlier by aborting democracy, and they will pay the price.
Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, what happens? What happens?
Question for Shahid Siddiqui.
Two questions coming your way, Mr. Shahid Siddiqui.
Small question.
Mr. Shahid,
why are you looking so glum?
If you get stuck between 140 and 160 seats?
Please let me speak, because
why is Shahid Siddiqui looking so glum? Isn't he on the winning side?
Because
Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, the question to you is, what happens to the Samajwadi Party if you get stuck around 160?
I have got bored listening to all this debate on and on for last so many months. Rahul Gandhi, his future. So I'm glum, I'm bored. The nation is bored.
No, Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, let me lift your mood. Let me lift your mood. Let me tell you that you are close to coming to power.
No,
only you are nice to the Congress party.
You don't have to tell me. I told you in earlier debates also. We know. You don't have to tell me. The people of Uttar Pradesh are telling me that media pundits will not tell us what is happening. We know what is happening.
As per 3 exit polls.
And we are very confident of what is going to happen.
Sir, will you, sir, please tell me, 1 second. I find it interesting that both, it's impossible, is it? This marriage is not going to happen.
No, this marriage is not going to happen. And as he's saying that he's going to form the government, then why does he go and say that the Congress wants to rule through the back door and all? They keep claiming they're getting
because you are saying that you want to have president rule even before the elections are over. Even before the elections are over, you are predicting a president's rule. I mean, this is very strange.
I'm not predicting it. Why are you? I'm not predicting it.
No, your party, your every leader is predicting that.
I'm not predicting anything.
No, your leader said it. Shri Prakash Jaiswal said it.
No, Jaiswal, Digvijay Singh, it was seen by the election commission, and they said it was misquoted.
Bareli MP said that we are going to
have. Can you afford president's rule? Can you afford president's rule? Can both of you afford president's rule? Can I hear tonight that if 3 exit polls are right, and this is a matter of great concern, now we're really serious on this. 3 exit polls are right, and they're saying the only form of way of forming a government is SP Congress.
No, if the mandate has not been given to any party clearly,
and
I don't know if that the governor has to decide.
Governor is your man.
But no, governor is not mine.
You are dictating to the governor even before the elections are over. You are dictating to the governor even before the elections are over, unfortunately.
How are we dictating to anything?
Listen to it. Why do you say so? Why do you say so, Shahid Siddiqui?
Because they are dictating to the governor. They are saying they are, preempting the governor. They are preempting the poll results by saying that if we don't form the government, then there will be president's rule.
No, one second.
That's what they are saying.
Our panelists,
and see, in the past they have ruled this country with a minority. Narasimha Rao was a minority government, and he ruled this country. And here, even before the election results
are support.
One sec. Important comment. One second. You have been asked. I see 3 hands up from the panel. I'm so happy the panel is getting warmed up to this debate. And one of our panelists tonight. No.
Arpian Singh, can you deny the fact that you even need their support at the centre to stabilize your government, which gets threats every morning from Mamata Banerjee?
Our government is stable. We have a majority in the centre, and we will continue.
You have a presidential election coming up.
We have a simple majority in the House.
As the debate warms up, and this is certainly not entertainment. Let me tell you, Shahid Siddiqui, this is as serious as politics can get in this country. You are being asked tonight. RPN Singh is asking you tonight. Are you begging for support? Why did you say that?
No. He's saying that we formed a coalition government, Mr. Narasimha Rao. So was he saying that he wants a coalition government? while his leaders have gone on record saying we don't want the support, while we are not giving support.
They are talking of,
why is he talking about coalition government then?
Not having a coalition government. They are against a coalition government. They are saying we won't allow any buying and selling of MPs. It is their Narasimha Rao government which did it. It is the cash for vote is their idea. The court verdicts are against them. So what are they talking about? They should not have this ostrich-like attitude towards the nation and towards the people of the nation and towards
I want our viewers tonight, wherever you are watching this, I want our viewers tonight to note, and this is on television tonight, I want you to note the increasing hostility which we have seen between the Congress party and the Samajwadi party.
There is no hostility
and Mr. Shahid
from our
Siddiqui,
side.
this hostility is obvious and it's clear tonight. There's a lot of hostility that's grown up between both sides. You want to form the government by breaking independence.
Because your short depends on hostility.
Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, believe me, along with the rest of the people of this country, I will be the happiest person if there's a stable government in Uttar Pradesh. But I can see the hostility tonight. There is a lot of hostility tonight. I want to ask our panelists, I mean, do you see an increase in hostility right now between two sides? Do you see this well planned?
There may be increasing hostility, but finally Congress and SP will come together to form a government. Hostility was there. Hostility was there between Sharad Pawar and Congress. Sharad Pawar and Congress in Maharashtra, and finally Sharad Pawar and Congress came together.
Hostility is shadow boxing. And hostility proves that they will come together.
They will come together.
Two reasons why I think Congress will be compelled to change its stance and probably dump the Rahul Gandhi line. One, if it's a 170, 175 kind of a tally of SP and it needs the Congress to form a government, without which it means the president's rule, then if the Congress deprives the government being formed, 6 months down the line when there are elections, the SP will come back with a vengeance. Number two, if the SAPA forms a government with others, a motley crowd, when the Congress could have supported it, then SP, which is surging ahead, do you think it could look at midterm poll as a scenario along with Trinamool Congress, because both parties stand to gain?
Oh, that's a point.
You know, so I think the Congress will be
That's a point. I want to throw that back because note that point, Shahid Siddiqui. You've been a journalist yourself, and for all that you're saying tonight, all the people on our panel are also extremely journalists. Nija Chaudhary is saying that you would rather work towards a situation, you want a situation of instability because you want to capitalize on the gains that you've made in the state, and you want to force a situation where there's a midterm election.